Before we understand the mechanism of mind, first let us see how the mind is connected with the body and soul. So the soul is actually covered by gross and subtle coverings. The gross body is composed of Panch Mahabhut, or the earth, water, fire, air and ether, by which our body, the physical body, is composed of, the gross body which we can see with our eyes. And there is another subtle body which is composed of Man, Buddhi, Ahankar, or mind, intelligence and false ego. So the mind is an aspect of the subtle body, and the soul has three features: Sat, Chit, Ananda. Sat means eternity, Chit means knowledge, and Ananda means bliss, happiness. So if you see, everybody wants to live forever. That is the Sat feature of the soul. And everybody wants to gain knowledge, increase their knowledge, know about everything. So this is the Chit feature of the soul. And everybody is looking for happiness. So that is the Ananda feature of soul. This is Sat, Chit, Ananda are the three innate features of the soul. Now let us see the mechanism of mind. So the mind, in coordination with the intelligence, passes on the information to different senses for action. So the intelligence is a decision maker, and mind is the storehouse of thoughts, unfulfilled desires, previous experiences and more. And the mind, with coordination with intelligence, sends the messages to different sense organs like ears, nose, skin, tongue, eyes, and then the different actions are performed. So this is how basically the intelligence, mind and different senses are working in coordination. This can be more better understood with the help of a chariot body analogy. Here, if we see, the chariot is compared to the body, and the 5 horses are compared to the 5 senses. The reins with which we control the horses is compared with the mind, and the driver is compared with the intelligence, and the passenger is compared with the soul. So we can see here that how the intelligence, soul, mind, senses are working. So if the intelligence is very strong, then it can control all the senses and mind, and then the chariot can go in the right direction and reach its destination. So this is same with our body and ourselves also. So the intelligence needs to be strong, then we can control our mind and senses and reach our goal of life or destination. Regarding this, Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 6.6, Bandhuratmatmanastasya yenatmaivatmana jitah anatmanastu shatrutve vartetatmaiva shatruvat. What does this mean? It means that for him who has conquered the mind is the best of friends. But for one who has failed to do so, his mind will remain the greatest enemy. So that is the reason why we discussed how the mechanism of mind works and how the intelligence can control the mind if it is very strong. That's why we discussed the analogy of chariot and body. So that's what this shloka says. So if the mind is controlled by the strong intelligence, then it can act as your best friend. And if it is uncontrolled, it can be your worst enemy. But how can the mind be controlled? So mind is compared, for example, here to a knife. Is the knife good or bad? It depends. In a surgeon's hand, it can save a life. But if it is in a miscreant's hand, it can kill a person. So similarly, the mind, how it works is GIGO principle, garbage in, garbage out, good in, good out. That means if we feed good inputs, good information, then we can expect something good coming out of mind. So where do we get our scripts in the mind? It can be from the books we read. It can be from the books we read. It can be from the movies we watch, or the music we hear, or friends we keep. So based on the scripts we have in our mind and the strength of our intelligence, there are mental dialogues taking place for every action or everything we do. For example, we take a smoking habit. So the mind feels, based on its scripts, I am an engineer, I should know how to hold a cigar at least. Smoking makes me feel cool. But the intelligence thinks, but that's a bad habit, not good for you. Your parents won't like to see you doing this. You may become addicted to it. Don't get into wrong track. So if intelligence is good and strong, it can give proper guidance to the mind and control the mind. Hence, the good intelligence is the key for the mind control. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to never miss on our updates. Also, don't forget to like the videos that you love.